Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Getting Real, the other side of the highlight reel, where I interview entrepreneurs and talk about the other side of the highlight reel. What does it really take to get to the top and to achieve the success? And today I have with me Donna Nelson, which is she's an empowerment coach. And I'll let her introduce herself as well. So Donna, take it from here.
Lucia, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here. It's just been so exciting to see you grow and to now really be doing this type of, format to really help empower us women, as a holistic empowerment coach and lifestyle strategist. It really is my passion to really help women find the energy and the confidence to live their life coming from their true nature, finding that place from within to be empowered and not rely on things from the outside world to really help them live a happy, healthy life.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And actually, I read about you, and we're both single moms, which is very interesting. And we have a lot of things in common. But one thing I noticed when I was reading about you is that you actually never took a full-time, well, I should not say never, but you did not have a full-time job while you were single mom. You were you created these opportunities around yourself, and also you worked part-time jobs. So what was behind that choice?
It was a very conscious choice, but I will tell you, it's also been a pattern of my whole working life, of working since I'm like full-time, like 15, 16 years old through high school. So I've always been the type of person that was looking for the opportunity. I've been opportunistic my whole life, literally since the age of 5, when I lived with my grandparents, trying to sell flowers on the roadside at my grandparents' farm stand. So I think it's something that's just been instilled in me. Intentionally, though, after I had my first son, I did not want him to be in daycare 40, 50 hours a week, like so many parents that I saw. I just had a certain belief system about keeping our children close and how that helps in their development to be secure, independent individuals. And if that's really true, it certainly worked for my son. He left home after high school to go to college, and he's never been back since. So I'm not sure exactly what drove that, but anyway, I'm just going to take credit for that. So, but my whole life really was around working multiple jobs or doing multiple side gigs to not have all my eggs in one basket necessarily. If something didn't work out, then I always had something else to keep it going. Most of that, though, in raising my boys was around making myself available so that I had a lot more flexibility to be available for them and, like activities and those kinds of things that we wanted to do, and to really maximize my income opportunity.
So when did you decide to take the journey to an empowerment coach? Was that during that period when you had part-time jobs and other opportunities, or it was something recent that it just happened?
Well, I knew for many years, honestly, that I wanted to do coaching, or what it was in the early years was consulting, right? So I knew that I wanted to do that. I never knew, though, exactly what it would look like. Originally, I felt really passionate about doing organizational, like executive coaching, right? Because I love business. I'm really passionate about business, but I love also psychology and human behavior and what makes people really, operate at a high level, right? And so through just a series of, my own personal life events and my own development, and really it was after my youngest son, Lucas, had passed away when he was 3, which was 2010. And I really took a look at myself and where I had come in my life and realized as much as I had done and things I had done to personally grow, I mean, I've been 30 years studying personal development, went back to school as an adult to get my degree in psychology and business. And I just realized I completely did not feel fulfilled and had not really done much to bring out my best. And so just through a series of things that I had decided to go back and study and build on my education, I just kind of created this concept and the way that I coach today.
So can you say now that you feel fulfilled once you found and you started doing empowerment coaching or in work with your clients, or still there's something missing?
Okay, I'm just going to say this. I think like the rest of my entire life, I'm going to feel like there's something missing. Because for me, there's always another idea. There's always another level, right? So I've never in my life felt like I've arrived, or if I get here, then this is going to be it. Like I've never seen if I could just make this amount of money or achieve this, then I will have arrived, right? Like I've never seen that would be. And I think that was part of my early conditioning in my, working in sales, was that there is never an arriving. There's always another level, because no matter where I got, I always saw someone doing better, or someone that I wanted to be like, So,
well, talk to me a little bit about that, because sometimes I see this and also I experience as well. I'm very creative, so I always have ideas and I want to do things. But sometimes it is from a place of, okay, I achieved this. I'm very comfortable now. Now I want to stretch myself to more. But sometimes it's the other way, that is more distraction, just to do things. So which one do you think comes up for you? And is it the stretching part, or?
Let me see if I follow you. I would say that one of the things that has hindered the growth of my business is the busy work, right? Is, always working on the next project, but never finishing, or completely growing the one before, right? So I think having strategies and a solid plan, and having someone hold you accountable, or having a system in place to hold yourself accountable is okay as well, to make sure that you're following through. And what I found, and it's part of what I'm teaching this year, is organization, right? Because when we're not organized lots of times because we don't have clarity of our vision and the outcome. So we could have clarity of a vision, but we may not have clarity of the outcome and the steps that need to happen along the way. So then we get distracted. And I've done a lot of that. So very qualified to teach it.
Yeah, I certainly have done that as well. The busy work, and yeah, I can definitely say that that stopped my growth, or I achieved the things, but it took me longer, and it was much more frustrating. And when I decided and let myself not do the busy work, but have more structure, it was actually opening a lot more doors faster and easier. So that's, yeah, I can relate to that. What is the other side of the highlight reel for you? What is the hardest thing in business for you as a woman, as a single mom? What do you find is the hardest thing?
I would say support. And I mean that in so many areas, right? So support in not having, we have masterminds for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Because they're people that hold you accountable. They're people that can brainstorm with you. They're people that can help you with ideas. And this is true for all entrepreneurs, maybe not just moms, right? Is that having that someone, when we have a partner, hopefully, right, the right kind of partner is someone you can bounce those ideas off of, that can give you that encouragement and maybe just give you that boost on a regular basis to keep going or not get discouraged, right? That when you get off track, they'll help pull you back, right? So, so I think that the lack of support is the biggest thing. And I've done many different things looking for support, right? Like brainstorming with other, female entrepreneurs. And what I found is that lots of times they just don't have time, right? Hiring coaches, it's very limited or structured in the way they want to support you. And there's not that collaboration and that back and forth and the brainstorming and really getting you and aligning you with your business model, right? So,
Right.
So those are some of the biggest challenges that I've really seen that I would love to fix.
Yeah.
But not just myself, but with other women and being successful in their lives in general. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And I think also part of it is a lot of the stuff that we see online, it's all the highlight reel, right? Because people don't, well, as coaches, we don't want to be that vulnerable. We feel like probably, well, a lot of people probably feel like if they post something that they're not hitting those sales or those numbers, then makes them less coaches, less experts. So a lot of people shy away from that. And I certainly find that for myself as well. The support, it's the biggest challenge. But also as a single parent and with a lot of responsibilities and no shoulder to lean on or a second income at home, I would say is twice as harder. And then if you have a full-time job on top of that. So what do you think, what is one way that you deal with all, like you say, the lack of support and something that you can do if people don't have, or one way, like you mentioned, is mastermind. What is some other ways that maybe people can do, and women especially?
Yeah, I mean, masterminds are a great idea. They're a great way of supporting you and building your business. But let's be honest, most people cannot afford, most startup women entrepreneurs cannot afford to get in a mastermind that really is going to help move them forward holistically in their business. Right?
What about a peer mastermind where you get together with peers and you do a mastermind?
Of course, I think those are great ideas. I started one of those in my local area. We called it Ladypreneurs, and we met once a month for lunch. But what it really turned into a social event. And so I disbanded it because it wasn't serving the purpose of what I had started it. And I wasn't really, while socially and emotionally it was supporting these women, but that wasn't my intent. So, yeah, those are two great ideas. If people you're getting, like if you're doing the kind of thing that I did locally, right? Where everyone is aligned with that and in agreement with how it's going to flow as you get together to support each other to grow your businesses or to support you emotionally, which is super important to us women.
Yeah. Well, what are some of the ways that maybe someone can work by themselves at home? So for example, I have a mindset routine, and although I do have support in a way that I'm a member of two masterminds, but it's more peer-based. It's not paid or anything. And those are great. But also I do a lot of work by myself. So what is something that works for you in the days that you don't feel like getting up and doing the work? What does it help you?
Yes, it's funny that you said the mindset, because the mindset is an important piece, right? So the thing you have to package the mindset with, though, is your emotional self, right? So if you aren't identifying with the emotional connection to the outcome, you're not going to take the action. We take action based on how we feel, not what we think. Because
that's interesting.
Yes. Because, well, if you think something, then you feel something, right? Like,
so thoughts create emotions.
Right. And it's our emotions that put us into action.
Okay.
So having our mindset in check, yes, right? So if we're thinking, if you're creating affirmations that match the feeling that you want based on the outcome that you want, then you will have that mindset that matches that outcome, and you'll take action every day. So it goes really beyond the mindset, because our subconscious mind controls, most of our life, more than 95, 98, who knows what the right number is, right? Everybody says a different number, but it does just say it's more than 90% of our actions, because they're automatic, they're internal patterns that we've created over time. And so we do need to have these strategies. So mindset is one, but having your emotions in check by creating these emotional balances, which we can do through meditation, through journaling I think is really more of a mindset process. A lot of times, you can journal out your emotions, but it's really like you're verbalizing them, right?
Yeah, for me, journaling, it's more about taking things out of my head, just throwing it and dumping it on the page. But yeah, meditation is completely different experience.
Right. So I would say those things, right? Create a mindset practice, and that can be many different things, but creating a gratitude every day, like waking up every day. And so one of the things that I do every day is today I will, and then it's like an activity, like an action, right? Like I will take action on, whatever, right? But today I will feel, right? Like if we wake up every day and make a determination on how we want to feel every day, that's what puts us into action, right?
So we decide, we got to decide.
Yeah, of course, it's a decision. Everything is all day long, it's decisions, right? Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's switch gears a little bit. So I want to talk about the initiative that you started, Adopt a Single Mom, because I think this is a tremendous contribution and opportunity for single moms to experience that especially during the Christmas time. And like I said, I'm a single mom. I've been on public assistance, and I know Adopt a Single Mom is for women with that in that invisible gap. But I would like to explain it. And I think, for someone who has been in public assistance and in the invisibility gap or whatever you can explain more. I wish someone did that for me at those times, because I know it was really difficult. So I will let you explain a little bit what the initiative is and who really qualified, who were the single moms that qualified for it.
Yeah, so the Adopt a Single Mom project that I started in November, just actually November 12th, 2017, was because I wanted to serve moms that fell into the same gap that I did most of raising my boys, or I should say raising Canaan, because, Lucas was with us for only 3 years. And we, during that time, we were in this gap. So the gap is moms that are above the poverty level, but below financial security.
Right. Okay.
So
they make more than the minimum the maximum required for public assistance.
Yes, right. And even if, not just poverty level, because you can be above poverty level, which is like $12,000 a year. Gosh, it doesn't take much to be above poverty level.
Yes.
The standard needs to change. there's so many things that
$12,000 for a single parent,
a single person. Just a single person. No one can live on that kind of money and have any kind of dignified living, right?
Yeah.
Certainly not living at a standard that most people live in the 21st century.
And then child care for the children or the child. I remember when my son, he qualified for the ACS, but then I still had to pay a lot more out of pocket. So it was, yes,
Yes. So doing the research on this, I found it just, kind of inflamed me even more to really pursue this in a much bigger way, because what I found through hearing the stories of the single moms that we gifted through this project is that it's a bigger problem. I literally had one mom tell me that she quit her job because she lost this assistant childcare, that the moms that want to work and they're working themselves out of poverty, and so they have a job, and there's could be in this gap, where they could be getting a discount. This, it's called coordinated childcare where we are in northeastern Pennsylvania, but there's a waiting list. There's not enough funding. And so her kid gets bumped out of the system, and she can't afford to work because she can't afford to pay the full price of daycare. I mean, it's tragic. We keep people trapped in the system for way too long because we say we have these programs, and it's just smoke and mirrors. We do, but not for everyone, So when I started this Adopt a Mom project, my initial idea was like, hey, I would just love to be able to give some of these moms, because I know there was Christmases where I had no gifts under the Christmas tree because I was here in Pennsylvania, not near my family, as a single mom. The closest family was my grandmother before she had passed. She was 50 some miles away. She didn't drive anymore, so she wasn't coming here. And one Christmas, Canaan, when he was really small, he was like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. And he was like, Mom, what did Santa get you? And there was nothing under the tree for me because, there were stacks like, Lucia, right? Like stacks up around the tree halfway up. They were all Canaans, right? So
yes, my son asked me the same question. Where is your gift?
Yes, right. And that really penetrated me in a way that I went, and so from that year on, I made sure I bought myself something and had it under the tree because, they were little, in his mind, Santa was a for real thing at that time. And all good people get gifts. So what the heck's wrong with my mom? I think it was at that point he started really questioning. Maybe she
was not good throughout the year and Santa didn't bring her anything.
Santa did something. Yes, right. So I wanted to be able to, really nurture these moms and let them know that, we recognize that they're working hard, they're doing their best, and that they're constantly in this giving mode, and there's no giving back to themselves. Lucia, it's something we work on all the time as single moms, which is our own self-care, because we will give to our jobs, we'll give to our kids, we'll give to our community, we'll give to the housework, to the whatever. And if there's a drop left at the end of the week, forget the day, maybe we'll do something for ourselves, So we want to take this project even bigger, because we want to support these moms. This gap is getting wider in our communities. We're looking at the statistics, and the amount of single mom households in our community, like in our northeastern Pennsylvania region, is growing, which means that it's impacting our children, and it's impacting the productivity of our community overall. When our moms are struggling and not being their best, it's affecting their health. It just goes straight across the board in so many areas of our community and our moms' lives.
And I think, what is your take on, do you think single moms have less opportunities in a sense that even if there's an opportunity, probably I won't take it or go for it because I don't have a kid. I cannot afford the childcare for my son, or I don't have the support around me. So do you think that affects the growth of single moms?
100%. I know even in my own life, when Canaan was first born, I worked in financial services. After my divorce, I wanted to continue that because it was lucrative. But I was doing in-home financial planning for families. It required me to go out at night. It required me to go out on weekends when people were home. And I had a really hard time keeping consistent babysitters that would show up or could stay, you know, for the amount of time that I needed them. And I had to quit because I didn't have the options at that time, you know? So again, because no family, no close friends, you know, that kind of thing, you know. And so, yes, 100%. I tell you, so many times I would see jobs and I'd go, oh, I would so love to have that or apply for that or whatever. But then I would think about, but it's so demanding time-wise.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that trade-off.
Yeah. And after I started my online business, I also, that was one of the things I would see other entrepreneurs getting to where I was getting faster. And then I was comparing myself, but at one point, I just said, you know what? Well, the person has a family. They're not working. They're stay-at-home mom. They are mom, but they're stay-at-home mom. And I'm a single parent working full-time and having an online business, which I'm building from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then from 7 p.m. till 12 a.m. Yeah. So when as entrepreneurs, we compare ourselves with others, we sometimes have to really think about, okay, what are the backgrounds? Are we comparing apples and oranges?
Right. And that's why it's super important to have our purpose and values in alignment, right? So you have these goals, but what are your values? Like, you can have a goal, but if your values aren't matching, then you're going to have this constant conflict within. You're going to be comparing yourself or beating yourself up for not achieving something that's not even achievable. Right? Because there's only so many hours a day, right? So, yeah. So having our values is super important.
Right. So I know the project was extremely transformational for the single moms, and I'll let you share that, but how the experience impacted the way you see yourself now?
Wow. You know, this project moved so fast, you know, it was like 45 days, you know, because we started it at November 12th. So like 45 days before Christmas. And and I was thankful that it moved as quickly as it did, but it left me in complete awe. I mean, honestly, I still have so many emotions around it that I can't even like put the right adjective to it, because I'm in such awe of the feeling that this brought me, because these women were just like I was, right? Like, my son's 22 now. So, you know, but they still have kiddos at home that they're raising, right? And I mean, these are just some of the most amazing women, so incredibly grateful. It was a little gift. Like, do you know, it was a little, like, we raised $100 for we gave the moms actual gifts, and we gave them a $70 Visa gift card so they could do whatever they wanted. And then we had other, like 7 or 8 other female owned businesses that gave other little things for the moms. So we had a little gift bag in addition to the stuff that we did. And so in the whole scope of things in life, right, this was such a little thing. But just like we know how important it is to be encouraged and affirmed, right? This just gave me personally so much mileage, because it validated what I knew was important. So I think for me, the biggest thing was this validation that I'm doing something that is worthy and that our community needs. And part of that came not just from the moms, but the other community organizations and the individuals that would have never touched my life if it wasn't for starting this project, that stepped up and raised their hand and said, we want to help with this. I want to be part of this. And, you know, some people would send me emails or Facebook private messages saying, thank you for doing this. I was a single mom, and I know it was a struggle, or I am a single mom and everything is good now. And just like high fives for helping. And, you know, people that, you know, want to give back to the community and see that this is a niche in our community, a population that is not served, that needs to be served and helped in a bigger way, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's maybe in the scope of everything, it's a small gift, but I think probably they felt that they mattered and they were seen and someone saw them, right, as who they are. And when we're acknowledged in that way, it really moves your heart. I have a neighbor who is 97, and I invited him for Thanksgiving, and he was so grateful because he said, I can't imagine, like, why would you do this? And he felt so that I saw him, that he existed, and he's not forgotten. So I think even if it's a little gift, that brings those feelings to the single moms. I know your niche as an entrepreneur is not single moms. Do you think after this project you're gonna shift gears, or you're finding different ways how to do together the project in your online business?
Yeah, my niche is definitely not single moms, although it seems like I've coached a lot of single moms. But I never thought about it in that way, you know? And yes, I have no plans to like change my niche, because here's the bigger purpose of my life is to empower others, particularly women, to help really bring out their truth and to be happy and empowered from within. And so this single, the Adopt a Single Mom project is one way of doing that. And I found, as I have been reflecting on this and thinking about, my purpose and, what I want to do in life, and how important it is for us when we're focused on what our life purpose is, to be flexible in how we get there and achieve it.
I like that.
And I have found that over and over, because we don't know everything, and the universe has a way of opening opportunities for us to achieve what we want. If we're open and aware to it. If we're rigid in our structure, or someone else's structure for us, then we're going to miss those opportunities because we won't even notice them, right? Because they don't fit my niche.
Right. So we have to set the goal, or wherever we want to go, and do and be, and then just let it happen.
Yeah, I think the allowing is a big part of the process. So as we start the action moving toward there, my belief and experience is that opportunities are going to come to us. So when I started this Adopt a Single Mom thing, it was a little thing. I was like, oh, I just want to do this little thing. And what I found out was this might be the thing, Right. So the way that I'm going to really be able to impact a lot of women, because as we're moving forward with this, we're also working on doing this year a big women's empowerment event. So, and it may be 2 days, I'm not sure yet, because we're just starting to work on it. And that was already like the plan. But this has really spurred the opportunity to just package this with it. So
talk to me now about purpose. I want to know more about, I'm assuming when you were a single mom and you had part-time work and opportunities, was not fully purpose-driven or aligned, I'm assuming. And now that you are on fire with your purpose and you're aligned, what is the difference? How do you operate differently as Donna without the purpose and Donna with the purpose?
Well, I mean, the biggest difference for me when I started my coaching practice was being happy with me from within and creating. So it kind of, here's the thing that I feel, I don't even know if this is answering it or not, but for me, it doesn't really matter what I'm doing or what happens in my life at this point. I know that I am in control of my experience of it, my perception of it, the outcomes as a result of it, and that I'm in control of my happiness. So I have a lot more confidence knowing that life doesn't really rattle me. because I'm in control. And I absolutely know that I know that I know that, versus in the past, it was like, oh crap, what's going to happen now? Right? Or worried about some relationship or some reaction from someone else, or if my job, shuts down, or I got fired from my job, like how that's going to negatively impact my life. And not that things that happen now don't have a negative impact. It just doesn't bother me.
So would you say there's no fear? Because my next question was, what is the fear? What is your biggest fear?
Yeah. Oh, I think there's always fear. But it's like, is the fear driving you? Is it causing you to stop? Is it, making you anxious? It's like, so you can have fear of like, oh crap, I hope this works out, right?
Right.
Like, or I hope this wasn't like a big fail, like with the adoptive mom, like I hope somebody gives some money, so, but when what I really believe though is when you're coming from a place of alignment, meaning that what you're doing is right and true for you, the fear is way less because you're just going with it.
Yeah.
Because you have this inner trust that things are just going to work out. So, but the biggest fear for me is, I think the biggest fear for me is not becoming, I don't know if it's becoming someone or if it's just achieving something that my son could look back and feel this deep sense of pride about what his mom did.
So leaving a legacy in a way.
I think leaving a legacy is even bigger than that. But it's just like making that impression on him so that it's like it's like giving that hope to them. It's like passing on that generational success, if you will. So I remember when I left the financial services company, it was a couple years later that Kanan said to me, I wish you still worked for such and such. And I was like, what? Because in my mind, Lucia, as a mom, I was like, oh my God, you were always with a babysitter. But, in his mind, he was like, yeah, but it was better then, because we had more money, we traveled, we did things as opposed to like struggling, So
my son says, I wish you could work for yourself.
it's so funny. Yeah. So I think
what is one thing, is that one thing also that you would love to see and experience? What is one thing that you would want to experience in a lifetime? A bigger goal, mission?
Oh, yeah, I don't know that would even be for me, to be honest. That would be totally, directed toward my son, and seeing him achieve the things that he is really passionate about. He has a lot of things that he's really passionate about and that he's created and designed. He's in school for aerospace engineering, and he's working on a startup right now, and he's been really busting it, him and his partners. And I really just want to see his efforts validated for him. Yeah, that would make me totally happy.
And what is your life intention? What do you think is your calling?
Right now?
Yeah.
Because that could change next year. And I'm totally open to that, because as we grow, right, we have to be, again, that allowing of whatever my purpose is in life, it might be different next year. And I've really shifted to, okay, well, this is what I think I'm going to do and I want to do, but I'm open to that totally changing. So I right now, the thing that fulfills me and gives me drive every day is working toward creating opportunities that are empowering to women and really helping them grow to be that better version of themselves. And a lot of that is around releasing this mental and emotional clutter that keeps us from being our best, focusing on the external world to make us happy instead of the internal world. So helping them just create these shifts to look at things differently, to experience things differently. That's, I guess.
And what is next for Adopt a Single Mom? What do you want to do next with?
So so I ran it through my business this time. So we're not going to do that going forward, because today I just got someone that I met through the Adopt a Single Mom project to fund. This is totally hot off the press. Like, I've not even told one person this yet. So
I'm glad.
I'm doing it the skinny right now here. But I got someone to actually fund the 501c3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Yes. So
it's a game changer.
It's a total game changer. We're going to just get so much more credibility out of this, but so much opportunity for organizations and people to support this in a bigger way than they did this last time. So, this last time we just in 30 days, really, we raised enough money to support or to gift 24 moms. And so that was great. But imagine if it's, 240 moms or 440 moms. I mean, we have over 7,000 single moms in this financial gap in our 2 counties, the county I live in and the county next to us. It's not even the whole northeastern Pennsylvania region. So it's ginormous, the impact that we could make with, going to 501c3. And, there's so we want to be able to do programming throughout the year to support these moms through my own experience and some of the things that I had conversations with these moms. I found that there's other needs other than emotional and social support. There's education that they need in different areas of their life, that we want to create programming to support them on all levels so that they can grow and have lives that they can be proud of, and that their children can then continue on and not have obstacles moving forward in their lives.
Oh, this is life-changing. And I salute you for that, because I know it's a lot of work. It's a shift from the way you were doing your business and the way probably you were seeing your business. But I think this is extremely transformational for the single moms and, of course, for yourself. And we always want to give back. So I'm assuming, same for you too. So if people want to find out more about you, and I know probably Adopt a Single Mom doesn't have yet a website, but maybe your website where people can find more. And if somebody wants to be involved, where they can find more.
Yeah, so actually on my business website, I put a tab for Adopt a Single Mom because I had nowhere else to put it, right? It's like there for now. So anyone goes to donnanelson.us, that's my business page, and you can, across the top is Adopt a Single Mom. So if anyone wants information on that, they can get it there. On that page, there is a link to donate. And at the bottom of that is my email, and someone can send me an email. You can find me on Facebook, which is Donna Nelson, Holistic Empowerment Coach, and reach out and tell me how you would want to be involved. Of course, we would love to have more support on all kinds of levels. So, yeah.
Great. Those are the same links if somebody wants help with in your online business as an empowerment and holistic coach.
Yes.
As well. So, Donna, thank you so much for being the first guest in the first episode of the show. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Lucia.